Ever feel like your mind is running a marathon with no finish line? Thoughts loop endlessly, replaying past mistakes, worrying about the future, or overanalyzing every little detail. The harder you try to stop, the worse it gets. If you've ever felt trapped in your own head, you're not alone. And more importantly, you can break free. Your brain is wired to solve problems, but when it doesn't have a clear off switch, it can spiral into rumination, replaying thoughts over and over without resolution. An unfortunate pattern that happens to most of us at some point. This is especially true for people with ADHD, where dopamine imbalances make it harder to shift focus away from intrusive thoughts. Neuroscience explains it this way. The prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate thoughts, struggles to quiet down. The amygdala, responsible for processing emotions, becomes overactive, amplifying stress. And the more you engage in overthinking, the stronger these neural pathways become. Like deep grooves in a dirt road, making it harder to steer in a different direction. So how do we break the cycle? We train the brain to let go. Here's a simple, science-backed way to calm overthinking in the moment and rewire your brain over time. The let go method. L, label the thought. Instead of getting caught in the emotional loop, take a step back and name what's happening. I'm overthinking a conversation. I'm predicting the worst case scenario. I'm stuck on something I can't control. Labeling activates the prefrontal cortex, shifting you from emotional reaction to logical observation. The moment you name the overthinking, you start separating yourself from it. E, exhale and ground yourself. Overthinking triggers a stress response, keeping your body in a fight or flight state. Reset your nervous system with breath work. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 8. Press your feet into the floor or hold something textured. Engaging your senses pulls you into the present. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, physically signaling to your brain that you are safe. T, take a thought break. ADHD brains hyperfocus, meaning the more you engage with a thought, the deeper it gets wired in. But everyone is capable of the overthinking spiral. To disrupt the cycle, change your environment by standing up, walking outside, or splashing cold water on your face. Use the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself, I'll think about this later, and redirect attention to something engaging. Movement and sensory changes reset the brain, making it easier to shift gears. G, gratitude shift. When overthinking becomes obsessive, it's usually because the brain is scanning for threats. You can override this by consciously redirecting your focus to gratitude. Instead of, I said something stupid, try, I had the courage to speak up. Instead of, what if I fail? Try, what's one thing I can learn from this? Gratitude rewires the brain to notice the positive, breaking the habit of scanning for worst-case scenarios. O, observe, don't attach. Thoughts are like clouds. They pass if you don't chase them. Instead of fighting the thought, imagine stepping back and watching it float by. Try saying, there goes my brain, trying to predict the future again. I notice this thought, but I don't have to believe it. This technique, based on mindfulness and acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, teaches your brain that thoughts are just mental events, not facts. Overthinking is a habit, but so is letting go. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to quiet your mind and regain control. Label the thought to create distance. Exhale deeply to calm your body. Take a break to reset your focus. Shift to gratitude to override negativity. Observe without attachment. Let go and find peace. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thought pattern you're working on letting go of? Drop it in the comments. I'll be reading and responding. If this helped you, hit like and share this with someone who needs it. Let's break free from overthinking together. Stay connected and subscribe to Third Eye Connected, where positive content keeps you motivated, engaged, and inspired.